Welcome to the Airedale. I'm Chloe Lewis.
And I'm Shelby Bishop.
Today we'll be taking an inside look on teen drivers, AMI ROTC, supercharged stations, and much, much more coming up on
The Airedale.
Directly from the Alma High School News Studio, covering news and sports from where it matters. You're watching The Airedale.
Welcome back. To start off our show this week, Justice Robertson and Xander Polito took an inside look at teen driving and how the importance of learning to drive safely.
Teenage driving is a serious topic. We were all teenagers once, and some of us are still. We were younger and we were waiting for that day that we can start driving. Some people use driving for actual meaning, like, for example, getting to work and school, and others use driving to show off. But teenage driving is serious. And here's what Brian Kirkendall has his opinion about teenage driving.
Well, I mean, teenage driving's been around for a long time. I mean, even when I was 16, I was able to drive. We didn't have hardship letters, though. You had to wait till you're 16. So, you know, it's a part of growing up. When we can drive and drive to school, it's convenient and it makes life a whole lot easier for parents. I mean, I currently have a senior daughter that drives, and so obviously I was very nervous, like all parents are, when she turned 16.
Driving permits are for teenagers to learn how to drive, but only can drive with an adult. But Alma gives out hardship letters to students who need a hardship and also academically passing.
You know, I can't really remember when hardships actually came about. I know that I've probably been writing hardship letters or requests for 11, 12 years. I do not recall them before that. One of the reasons I do not remember exactly how many years they've been allowed to be written for students is because when my first job as an administrator was at a middle school, so I was at a middle school for several years. It wasn't until I came to a high school before I came to Alma that I was writing hardship. So I know they've been doing at least 12 years. I do also know that the state police have kind of waned in some of their regulations and requirements to relax some of those, and so it's not as difficult to get a hardship. Before, there was a lot more scrutiny and they would really read your letters and go through everything and make sure everything lined up. But if you have the grades and you get a letter from a school administrator, they usually grant those. As far as hardships, typically, I think it's 15. You have to be 15 to do it. I can't recall 14-year-olds being able to do that because you're just not getting your permit. The idea, typically, you have a 9th and 10th graders that are in school. They have events to go to, the athletics, extracurriculars, and they can't get to or from practice or the things they need to get to because of inconveniences or parents can't drop them off. Obviously, there are some students that they're going to use those because they want one because they're not 16. But we don't use a whole lot of scrutiny with those. If they come and they request it and they have the grades, we usually issue the letter, and then it's up to them and the state police to whether they get the license or not.
Teenage drivers need to take driving serious and obey the law. For Airways Media, I'm Xander Polito. Thank you.
Thanks, boys. High School Junior Reserves Officer Training Corps programs. What do their inspections look like? Andrew Chronister has more.
Now, you must be seeing this footage and thinking, what are these people doing? It's known as AMI, which stands for Annual Military Inspection. It's an annual march routine inspection performed by NJROTC, or Navy Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. It's a military recruitment organization that you join in high school. During AMI, an inspector analyzes a march routine performed by the platoons. Once that is completed, there is an open ranks inspection. This is when the inspector will analyze each individual and their uniform. The inspector will also ask the cadet certain questions. After this, the inspector will then present awards and rank advancements to the cadets who have earned it. Here in NJROTC, we do an abundance of military-related activities. For instance, we have inspection once a week, and we also have PT, which is physical training, once a week. If you would like to join NJROTC, stop by the classroom and talk to Commander Raymer. This is Andrew Chronister with Airwaves Media. Thank you for watching.
The Alma High School participated in the Great Kindness Challenge Week. Gina Alexander has a wrap-up of this week.
Have you ever wanted to have a week where you can dress up in costume? Last week was Great Kindness Challenge Week, and us here at Alma High School participated by dressing up all week. We partake in the Great Kindness Challenge to allow students and teachers to dress up however they wish, as long as it's school appropriate, and to show students that being kind will get them a lot further in life than being a bully.
Okay, I think that the Great Kindness Challenge Week is an excellent idea. However, I feel like we need to be kind all the time. I think it's a great reminder for students and teachers alike that we need to show kindness to everyone and how much one small act of kindness can make somebody's day. Well, I've dressed up every day, but the reason I like to dress up is it's fun. It shows school spirit, and I like seeing the students' faces when they see a teacher participating, and hopefully maybe next time we have dress-up days that more people will participate.
Few students participated in the Great Kindness Challenge Week, so some teachers dressed up to try to get more students involved in this school-wide activity. With the addition of an event like this, student engagement can be increased and the morale of the participants can also be increased. And on the other hand, try to get other students that normally wouldn't be involved in something like this to get involved.
Well, this week, every day has its own theme. And so today was, beach theme or surfer theme. And so, it's kind of a point that, whenever we have opportunities to, sort of get out of our box a little bit and do something a little bit different, like participate in school-wide functions and activities, that oftentimes if, teachers and adults are getting involved with it, sometimes it helps students kind of get out of their shell and help participate in the different events that we have. Well, first of all, I think that, just trying your best to do the right thing and being nice to people is kind of, the cornerstones of just, being a good person and being an active, member of our school or of our community. I think that having an initiative where, we bring that to the forefront, where, people are talking about being kind, people are talking about what are some things that we could do to help other people. I think having an event like Kindness Week gives us sort of this platform to where we can actually have those conversations and actually start, putting words into action and actually start helping people, in whatever area that they need help. It doesn't cost anything to be nice to somebody. And so having a platform that we can actually communicate that and also participate in different activities, I think just helps, helps a person as an individual, see what they can do to be kind, but it also shows us what we can do as a school and a community to be kind.
Many students got involved last week and during the Great Kindness Challenge. Part of this challenge, as is obvious, is dressing up. The themes for each day were Hawaiian Day, Hippie Day, PJ Day, Superhero Day, and School Spirit Day.
I wanted to match with my brother. It's a great way to make the school kinder and make people better in general.
I'm Gene Alexander for Airwaves Media, signing off.
Technology is constantly changing at a rapid pace. That includes the technology of our cars. Ethan Waits has more about the advancements of vehicles charging stations in our area.
Alma is one of many cities around us that is progressing towards the future. Here is Mayor of Alma, Jerry Martin, with more.
That's the million-dollar question at this point, because with I-49 slated now to go south, and then finish the connection between Alma and Greenwood, basically Jenny Lind, and as they continue to build out I-49 on down into Louisiana, we're going to be truly one of the few north-south, east-west corridors in the country, and so there's a lot of possibilities with where Alma can go. And how we will grow and what kind of industry that will come to our area. So That was why it was important for us to be able to start initiatives like our solar initiative and getting our solar energy at the, for our municipal buildings and our water treatment plants. And talking with Tesla and getting Tesla into this area, and not just Tesla, but we want to be able to cater to the whole EV electric vehicle market. So even for those people that aren't driving Teslas, they might be driving other sort of plug-in hybrids or plug-in vehicles, that we would be able to accommodate them also, not only as a place to stop as they travel through, but as a destination. So if somebody comes to spend time at our bike trails or any of our parks, that we'll also have charging stations located there as well, so that people will have access to those.
Many charging stations for electric vehicles are scheduled to be put in all over the U.S.
Yes, we have been working very, very hard on making sure that we have the groundwork laid so that as we continue to grow, as people continue to come into this area, that the growth that we see will be good, positive growth for everyone involved.
There are a total of 175 charging stations for electric cars across Arkansas currently.
I think we have some really bright days ahead of us. I mean, we still have not just here in Alma, but as a region, we have some very positive things in the works. There's a project that could bring in several $1 billion into the economy if everything works out and it goes through, which is really exciting. And so to be able to be sitting where we are right now, and to be able to be a part of that kind of growth and that kind of economic impact, it's going to be pretty exciting moving forward.
With Airwaves Media, I'm Ethan Waits.
With more and more information being put online, the newspaper companies are decreasing fast. Evan Sanderson and Joshua Wagley has more.
Would you rather get a newspaper or news off the internet? Most people want their news from the internet because it's faster. Newspaper companies are being shut down due to the internet taking control. The internet is used more nowadays than ever, which means the news and other government official things will start switching over to the internet.
I think it's kind of a shame because I grew up reading the newspaper. I've worked for a newspaper, but I also understand that in the digital age, it is hard to produce a newspaper that's profitable.
A lot of people like the feel of paper between their fingers as they can read the newspaper. Yet, of many newspaper companies, they are in dire need of change.
Well, I do think newspapers need to, and a lot of them have, but they need to join the digital age and maybe modernize their product. And I think the more successful newspaper companies are going to be able to do that and stay in business. I think maybe those are the smaller newspapers that don't have maybe the money or the technology capabilities to continue to grow in the digital age and with technology.
I'm Evan Sanderson for Airwaves Media.
Virtual reality has become a big thing today. What is the potential for virtual reality? Michael Farrell has more.
The potential for VR devices and entertainment is pretty much limitless, with examples already proving this as fact.
The disadvantages of VR content to me is that if people do it for too long, they can hurt their eyes.
With 3D modeling software used by game developers and 3D artists, they can create a whole different experience than just using a computer monitor.
I think it's going to help a lot of people out because if they post it on YouTube, they could do comedy skits, like animate, kind of like an animation, and other things, and they could get money off that if they post it on YouTube.
The most popular VR headsets on the market today are the Valve Index, Oculus Rift S, Oculus Quest 2, the Vive Cosmos, the original Oculus Rift, and the original HTC Vive.
So in the present day of VR, we now have different consoles coming out, starting with the Oculus Go a couple years back, that enabled the user to play YouTube, Netflix, and Hulu, and a bunch of other devices and apps on their Oculus Go. And Oculus and HTC have developed software that not only allows you to do that, but also play games and stuff with a high spec and a high storage amount, letting you play tons of games whenever you want, anywhere you want. And that evolved into the Oculus Quest.
The potential for VR products and other possibilities of the still relatively new industry right now seems limitless, but the advance of VR technology will bring to light so much good. This has been Michael Farrell with Airways Media, signing off.
In order to have a healthy lifestyle, a person must eat healthy. Evan Shibley dives into the different types of diets that are best suited for your lifestyle.
Dieting is a popular way to lose weight and generally have a healthier life. There are many kinds of dieting, and it is important to know what you need to eat for which diet you are doing and what your goal is. If you want to bulk up, then food with a high amount of protein will be your best friend. Portion control is when you control the amount of food that you eat in one sitting, and it is an unsung hero in dieting. There are many websites that give information and advice on dieting, so false information can easily be spread through those websites.
A lot of misconceptions of dieting is there's a one-size-fits-all mentality of you just do this one thing and that's going to work for everybody.
Remember, you are not alone in your dieting journey, and if you are struggling, then you can ask anyone for support. This is Evan Shibley with Airways Media.
Now over to Zach Miller with sports.
Spring sports are right around the corner. Brianna Langston has took an in-depth look of how softball is prepared for this season.
Somewhere behind the athlete, behind the hours of practice, behind the coaches who have pushed you as a little girl, who fell in love with the game. Coach Parrish talks about getting ready for their softball season.
Well, hopefully this year we'll have our season. Last year we only got to play two games last year because of COVID hit, and it ended our season. So as of right now, it looks pretty good. You know, we're trying to stay safe as much as possible with wearing our masks, staying our social distance apart, and you know, being an outside sport, that helps us out because we can be outside a lot more. And so hopefully we'll just get through season this year.
Bailey Webb talks about how their team needing to stay healthy for their season.
This year as a senior, I hope we have a season and just to stay healthy and everything, because last year we didn't have a season, so I just want a season this year. I look for good sportsmanship with every other team and good teamwork and a lot of good attitudes.
This is Brianna Langston signing off with Airways Media.
Bobby Taylor met up with some of the baseball players to see how they are preparing for this upcoming season.
The spring semester here, many of our sports is getting ready to go in full swing for their season it's about to have. One of the sports is baseball. I talked to coach, athletes, and see how they are getting prepared to go to the season. Hope it doesn't get canceled so they can play a full season this year.
Well, for one, you look at, we lost 50 games. You know, by the time you play 30 games in a high school season, you know, another 20, 25 in the summer, you know, that's what these guys, that's what we've tried to make up. You know, the talent's there. You know, what we lack right now is experience. And so what we've been trying to do is just scrimmage each other a lot and just try to get the younger players caught up to speed, you know, after losing all those games.
With the loss of last season, it was heartbreaking to the team because they were in Texas doing a tournament at the time.
It was heartbreaking. We were in Texas playing a tournament. We weren't doing so hot, but we were about to turn things around. And if we had a full season, we would have done really good. We'd have made it to the playoffs.
Some players have been working on their skills like pitching and hitting.
Personally, it's trying to take a different approach to the game, just trying to go up and not worry about power stuff. It's a different kind of team that we got to focus on a different type of play.
For Airways Media, this is Bobby Taylor sliding into home plate.
During off-season sports, athletes push themselves to the absolute limit to bulk up in muscle mass. Zach Millsap and Cooper McIntyre take a look at weightlifting to the max.
A max is like the most weight or like the heaviest weight you can do on a certain lift, and it's kind of like a goal for us to meet during season and off season. You know, we're just kind of chasing it.
Maxing is an important part of the off-season in many sports, but football especially. You may not know what a max is. Here's some high school off-season football players with their definition of a max.
I think it, you know, having like a goal set, like wanting to get more on a max, it just kind of fuels you to do better in the weight room and just do more weight and just get better at it. So when you max again, you know, you can, you know, get higher and, you know, just have that, you know, number with you.
Maxing helps many sports students in many different ways. Here are some examples.
Well, a max is a temporary goal. So it's a goal you set for yourself that you want to hit, which is means say like I want to hit, I don't know, my next coming max 360 on squat, okay? Well, my max is 345. That means I'm working towards going up, not trying to get where I want to be when I'm a senior, but trying to get right there where I can hit my goal. So I'm trying to go up 15 pounds on my max. That means just a temporary goal to work at. Well, I mean, having an idea of what you want to hit on your max, your coming max, it pushes you, works you, it makes you, it's like an extra motivation. So like, say in a football game, you're tired, but you know you're so close to winning. You want to have that extra fuel. You want that extra something to keep you going during the game. Just like you want to have that extra something to keep you going in the weight room.
This is Zach Millsap with Airwaves Media.
Back to Chloe and Shelby for more news.
Thanks, Zach.
Did you know that when you look to purchase a guitar that there are multiple things to look for? If you didn't, then you're in luck. Stephen Miller has more.
If you're thinking about starting guitar, what you're going to want to get is the right guitar. Something that is comfortable and good for a beginner, such as the Yamaha FT800. Another good beginner guitar is a First Act and maybe a Fender FA13 SCE. These guitars are very good for small hands and beginners that don't have calluses on their fingers yet. If you're a beginner, you're going to want to get yourself a tuner. Probably Swift Audio is going to be your best choice. A tuner is essential. You'll never get anywhere playing guitar if it's not a tuned guitar. Another thing that is useful is a capo. It is kept on your fretboard and it gives you different tones and sounds for different songs. And for a pick, beginners should use a lightweight pick. As you get better, you're going to want to upgrade to a thicker pick. If you want to learn guitar, you should definitely pick the guitar up and you should try and learn. Keep practicing and don't quit and you'll learn it. Alright.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of the Airedale.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow all of our social medias at Airwaves Media.
And as always, by the wise words of T-Mac,
go Airedales!
Airedales.